I've resolved to use the tool at hand and forego the adage of the best tool for the job. Use what's convenient. I believe in using the proper tool, but I can be slightly impatient. Taking the time to find a comprehensive solution takes meaningful effort. At times, a perfect tool may, however, land squarely in your lap. I have received both complaints about improper use and praise for resourcefulness. I haven't developed these techniques in a vacuum. Used differently and for different purposes, for sure. I have merely reappropriated them. Some will disagree with my methods. If you'd like to take it up with me in the comments, I'm more than happy to argue my point of view. In my shop, it's a must-have supply. So let's put this brand through its paces and see how it stacks up. Starbond sent me these products for review, without any strings attached, free of charge. They also provided a discount code and a small sales incentive to support the channel. This kind of advertising is new to me, so please let me know if you disapprove. I use CA glue all the time on this channel, and if this brand stacks up, it's a perfect addition to my bag of tricks. If I don't use a product, there's no way I would recommend it. Let's find out if this brand compares to the usual suspects. On first impression, I'm just that, impressed. Each bottle came with a set of micro tips, an extra applicator top, and a clog-free stopper. Based on this and my prior experience with superglue, crazy glue, cyanoacrylate, CA, or whatever you want to call it, Starbond seems to listen to their customers' needs and improve the product in a way that makes them stand out. I tend to have a medium and thin viscosity bottle in the shop at all times. I use a lot of the stuff, so I can't get by with those tiny little squeeze tubes. I don't usually worry about the stuff going bad, as I use it frequently. On the other side, one of the problems I face is that applicators tend to get plugged easily. After a little use, the applicator caps become clogged and won't fit. Starbond included a second applicator cap. I usually keep a micro tip on a bottle, and when it clogs, I trim it off a bit until the opening gets too big. And when it does, I replace it. Without even using this stuff, I can see they have experience with their product, or they are very in tune with their customer base. In my opinion, both of these are a positive sign. The price point on this product is better than what I've been using. Use the code 2CherriesINS for 10% discount. I usually keep my CA on a cart near the machine with the tools I need to have close at hand. I have inadvertently knocked over a bottle more than once and found it a day or two later set in a puddle. I started 3D printing a heavy bottom base to keep this from happening. These bottles are round, and I like that in comparison to the other brands. I've designed a base for these bottles as well. I will make the STL files and the Fusion 360 file available on my Patreon page if anyone's interested. I haven't lost a bottle since I started making these. I like to print these with a 0.1mm layer height. It increases the runtime and makes the layer lines very fine. This makes for a crisp part. I make them with a very tight tolerance, so the fit is snug. I also print them with 10 or so solid bottom layers to create a low center of balance that keeps the bottle from tipping over. If you add any design elements to these files, let me know. I'd love to try them out. So let's get stuck into the many and varied uses in this work. You've probably seen my CA and masking tape work holding method hundreds of times. If not, then let's stop now and hit the subscribe button. I still get comments about it routinely, so let's go over the fundamentals and the pitfalls. The precision capable in woodworking is not extreme. The material itself is challenging to friction fit, with tolerance varying wildly within species, and even within the same type of lumber. The main benefit of CNC work is its accuracy, so let's try to do no harm. The first key for a successful work holding strategy is that the spoil board must be as flat and smooth as possible. I always thickness parts that will be CNC milled on the thickness sander. This may seem like extra work, and it does take some effort, but the benefits exceed the costs. If the stock size is small, I often use this work holding method to attach a small piece to a larger piece of scrap MDF. This makes thickness sanding safer and more accurate. I place the stock on the bed in approximately the location I want it. Then I flip it over and attach masking tape in a spot that maximizes the work holding. Then I burnish in the tape. This is the key that most folks miss. The tape holds very well if you burnish in the adhesive to the stock. I flip the part back over and align it with the bed center line if it's a two-sided part. I can then mark the bed with the tape locations and burnish on the matching side. I run a small bead of CA, less is more in this application. I use the center markings to align the part and press firmly together. Even without accelerator, this joint sets very quickly, usually in less than 3 or 4 seconds. There's no time to move the part. If the alignment's off, it's better to start again. I can apply this technique to very specific points. It's far superior to clamps in most situations I face. I use thin CA to wick into the joints on fret ends and for binding and purfling. Other methods require you to hold the binding after the glue is applied, and this to me is fraught with the possibility of errors. We are all our own worst critics. I often judge myself in the inconsistency of my binding thickness. This is minimized by taping the binding and paying close attention to the side geometry so that the binding matches very closely. I can then wick in the thin CA. I've been using CA to attach inlay material for a long time. It's as simple as putting the CA in the pocket and pushing in the inlay. The interesting inlay work that I've started more recently, I call composite inlay. I mix mother of pearl powder and CA in the inlay pocket and work it into the corners. It's possible to create a very interesting thin line inlay that is improbable with solid materials. There are many other uses in the shop, too many to cover here. I want to add a small nugget of interest that I've discovered and don't hear talked about very much. The assumption is that CA cures quickly, and with accelerator, incredibly fast cure times are possible. This allows us to continue working in the shop without waiting for glue to dry. I've found that while CA does set quickly, it continues to cure over time. Fresh set CA is a bit soft and flexible, and cured overnight, it can become very brittle and hard. I like to take advantage of this interesting property. CA can be sanded into small gaps as a filler and will set in a way that allows you to continue to manipulate it for a minute or two. While soft, it's easy to cut and trim with a sharp tool. When hard, less so. Just something to keep in mind. I've enjoyed this product, and I will continue putting it through the paces and letting you know how it's going. If you'd like to support the channel a little bit and need some CA in the shop, I'd recommend this product. Let me know your experiences with this sticky subject. I think this adhesive has a good home in Luthier work, specifically in the type of CNC lutherie done in my shop. Whether you love or hate the stuff, it's very useful. It will remain on my list of must-have materials for a long time to come. Thanks for watching.